Hello everyone, today I'm gonna teach you how to register your custom slash commands using Discord.js. I'm pretty sure you know what a slash command is in Discord, so let's get to the point. So let's begin. So first thing, we're gonna go to the src folder. We're gonna create a new file named register commands.js. Here we're gonna import two things from Discord.js. Say const equals require Discord.js. In here we're gonna import rest and roots. Make sure it's imported. Now in here, let's make an array. Let's say const commands. That's gonna be an array of the commands. It's gonna hold the data. So first thing we need to set is gonna be the name of the command. So in here I'm gonna set it to ping for now, and set the description to replies with honk. Now this is gonna be one command. I'm gonna make one command for today. Let's say const rest. We're gonna make a new instance of the rest manager. So say const rest. You can name this whatever you want. The important thing is this variable must hold the new instance of the rest. Let's say equals new rest version. We're gonna set it to 10 and then dot set token. Now the token, let's say token here, it needs the token of the bot. So the token is in the .env file. So let me just say require .env.config because we're gonna set the token using the .env file using .env. Say process .env.token. Now let's say sync. Now we're gonna use rest and say await rest.put, then put roots.application. Now you must know the difference between global commands and guild commands. Global commands means that the commands you register will be registered in every single server the bot is in, and that might take up from it will take up to 1 hour at least 1 hour. However, in most cases it gets registered fast. For guild commands, the commands are registered in a specific guild you put. So and since we're gonna use guild commands for today, we're gonna make a new variable here. Let's set it to guild ID equals. Now let's go back in here. Let me just close this. Now let's copy the server ID. This guild ID. The guild means the server. It's gonna be server ID. Now if you can see copy server ID, it might be because you don't have developer mode on. One way to do that is to go to your user settings. Go to user settings. Then go to developer and enable developer mode. Make sure this is enabled. I already have it enabled, so I'm not going to enable it. It's just a waste of time. Now make sure you have copied the server ID, then paste it into here. The roots.application guild commands. Now this is where we're gonna import this. We're gonna use the bot's ID as required. Let's make a new variable first. Client ID equals. Let's make sure. Oh wait, sorry, this is the wrong ID. Client ID. The client ID first because if you decide to process the guild ID first, Discord.js expects the client ID first. So if you process the guild ID first, it will think you're trying to process the bot's ID, which will give you an error saying unknown application. So say process.env.guild ID. Then we're gonna set the body Oh, sorry, hold on. Body commands. Actually, let me just redo this real quick. Sorry, it's kind of messed up. Sorry for that. Application guild commands. It's gonna be process.m.client ID, process.m.guild ID, and then the body will be commands. Actually, let's say console.log here. And wait, I'm just gonna copy all this and put it in a try catch. Try catch. Body commands. And then console.log. Sorry. .log. Registered flash commands. And let's put here console.log registering slash commands. Now in the catcher here, let's say console.error. Let's say there was an error registering slash commands. Now this file must be ran in the terminal. We're not gonna just run the index.js and it will run register commands yet. Now let's say nodemon. Oh yeah, sorry. So there's been recent errors with nodemon for now, so I'm gonna use node watch soc/index.js. Just wait on it, I guess. Okay, now once the bot is online here, let's run c/register commands.js. I guess the commands are registered. No, hold on. I'm sorry, this is some kind of first tutorial, so I might mess everything up. Commands. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. Register commands.js. Okay, this should be it. Okay, I'm sorry for that. Now it's registered, but as you can see, it's not responding because we haven't added an event handler or event listener to handle the commands yet. Now we're gonna do this in the index.js file, so I'm just gonna disable the node watch. Now say client.on interaction create, because it's gonna be an interaction. Now let's make an if statement here and say if interaction.isChat input command, because say return. Now the reason I place this if statement is because sometimes the interactions aren't a splash command. So now the return is gonna prevent from any other function to run it further. And then now say if interaction.command name equals ping. Let's handle the ping command. Let's say interaction dot reply pong. This is await, and since we're using await, we're gonna have to put async here, the parameter here. Make sure the interaction parameter is placed here just so the interaction dot reply and those properties can work. Now let's run node watch again. So there's been recent errors with NodeMon right now, so you should use node watch instead. Now let's do the ping again. And as you can see it ran. Actually, let's log the interaction. Or never mind. Let's not log the interaction. Sorry for that. I'm sorry, this is like my first tutorial to make, so it might be messed up. Ping. Say await interaction dot reply bonk. Now when I was typing reply, you saw something called a property named or method named edit reply. Edit reply is the same as reply, but it edits the reply. It's in the name. And in order to use that function, you have to say await interaction dot defer reply, and we can change that to edit reply. Now, once you have deferred the reply, you can no longer use reply interaction dot reply, even if you already used edit reply. Now let's do it. Let's try again. Ping. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong command. Sorry. As you can see, the defer reply shows that Node.js is thinking, the user is thinking. That's what defer reply does. So now there are many features you can add to commands. So let me just disable this. Now let's change this to add. We're gonna change this to add because we're gonna add numbers. It's gonna be a sum. So add description add to numbers. Now this is gonna contain an array of the options here. It's gonna contain an array of the options you're gonna add. So let's say name. We're gonna set it to, for example, first number. Set description, the first number to add. Now, if you're wondering why I didn't set this to uppercase case like the description, like I did with the description, is because Discord doesn't allow any command name to be uppercase. It all must be lowercase, and there cannot be spaces. I think I might be incorrect. I'm not sure, but I think you cannot add a space here. But for description, you can. I'm not sure yet. You can just look at the Discord.js guide. Now, speaking of the guide, I'm gonna place the Discord.js guide link in the description. Now let's do another option. Let's say second number. Description, the second number to add. Now every option must have a type, so let's set the type to type. But first we need to import the application command option type from Discord.js. Now we're gonna say application command option type to number, since we're adding two numbers. Now let's say type application command option type dot number. Now let's register the commands. Let's say node register / commands. It should be working right now. Okay, now let's test add. Now, as you can see, it's these two are optional, so if I run it, there's gonna be an error. There's gonna be some type of error, so we don't want that. So let me just read this. So this is gonna cause an error, and you'll keep it thinking for an infinite amount of time. We don't want that. So let's set these through to required. So let's say required true, and let's set required true. And I also forgot that I haven't handled this yet. I already have the old deleted command here. So let's replace with add. Now let's make two variables. It's gonna be const num1 equals interaction dot options dot get number, because we're getting the number. First the number. Say const num2 equals interaction dot options dot get number. Second number. Now it will say I hit interaction dot reply, and we're just gonna remove this. Now let's say, sorry for the voice crack. Let's say the sum is num1 plus num2. Now you can save this file and then run node watch. Now let's say add. Oh yeah, I forgot to rerun register commands. Sorry. Okay, now as you can see, the optional icon here is gone, and if I try to run, this option is required. Specify a value. Let's say 5 plus 7, for example. Let's see what we get. Now, as you can see, the sum is 12. Now there can also be choices here. You can add choices here. So let's say choices name, and then 6. Let's add 5. Now the value here, we're not gonna add descriptions this time. A choice cannot have a description, it's gonna have a value instead, so say 5, and let's do the same. Actually, let me just copy all of this instead and replace it here. And let's replace this to second number. Say the second number. Add. Now say 7. The value of it's gotta be 7. Node src/register commands.js. Now let's try again. Add. Now as you can see, it's gonna have 5 and 7. Now it still works. Let's add multiple choices to make sure it's really working. Now name, let's set it to, for example, 8, and then the value is gonna be 8. Now let's do the same here. Name, right, let's set this to for example 6 or 5. I don't know. I already have 5, so let's set 4. Any number. Now just make sure it's value, not description. All choices cannot have descriptions, they have values. So let's say 4. And then let's rerun register commands. Now let's test it again. And we're gonna have the same. Say 4. Now it's the same. Now there you go. Congratulations. You have registered your first / commands. Now in the next video, this will be kind of different. I'm gonna show you how to set status for your bot. As you can see, like my bot here. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you in the next video how. Stay tuned, everyone, and till then, stay safe.